how do we get diagnosed with borderline? What are the traits? How many traits? Is it a deathly disease? Is the stigma around borderline based on anything? What can we do to break the stigma on borderline? Can borderline community get more awareness without fear of being alienated because of the stigma? How can people that are diagnosed with borderline have healthy relationships? How to have healthy relationships with people that are diagnosed with borderline? This is Hope to Recharge. I'm Atana. I'm here to guide you and support you through your challenging times, navigating through depression, anxiety, and other mental health struggles. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and May is Borderline Personality Disorder Awareness Month, BPD Awareness Month. I personally don't like the word borderline personality disorder. We are going to have a 4-part series. We were supposed to publish this in the beginning of May. Things happened, a lot of things in Israel, a lot of personal things, a lot of travel, and we postponed it a little bit. And we want to bring more awareness to borderline, to talk about how do we get diagnosed with borderline? What are the traits? How many traits? Is it a deathly disease? Is the stigma around borderline based on anything? What can we do to break the stigma on borderline? Can borderline community get more awareness without fear of being alienated because of the stigma? How can people that are diagnosed with borderline have healthy relationships? How to have healthy relationships with people that are diagnosed with borderline. We're going to discuss this all in the upcoming 4 episodes. How to build healthy relationships with borderline. How do we heal from borderline? What are the steps? What does DBT look like? What is DBT? Who started DBT? Marsha Linehan and borderline. What is the relationship? We'll touch upon Marsha and what she gifted the world. Should DBT be something that everyone should be learning? Why is it that DBT is only for the borderline community? I think DBT should be spread worldwide from young age to anyone because the skills are remarkable. This is all of the things that we're going to be discussing in the upcoming 4-part series. What I want to tell you is this. We started Hope to Recharge 5 years ago in May. May 28th was the first episode that went live. What are we doing for ourselves? What do we want to be? What do we want to work on? What's important to us? How can we cultivate these small changes in our brain, in our day-to-day life with our own tools? I call working with me the VIP program because I handhold you through the process, and sometimes the process is very lonely and hard and frustrating, and you want to just make sure you get it right to guide you through it with somebody that went through it. Sometimes you need a therapist, a psychiatrist, a coach, and somebody like me, somebody that went through the same thing, the same challenge as I did. And I love working with people that are ready to do the work because it is expensive. It's a lifelong investment into yourself, into your future. When you start working with a therapist, with a coach, or with someone like me, you're investing into your long-term stability, into your long-term mental health. People often ask me, can I work with you? How many times? What does it look like? And I say, it's not about how many times. What are you willing to do to show up, to work on yourself, to make the changes? How ready are you? Because if you're not ready, the investment will go south. You could say, I don't know where I want to go. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't even believe it can, but I'm no longer willing to stay in this position where I am now. Choose yourself. What are you willing to do to bring awareness to yourself, to your mental health, to your stability, to change? How are you going to impact yourself that you will impact the world? If you want to work one-on-one with me, link is in the show notes. Happy to answer any questions that you have. One-on-one with Matana. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation that we can see if you are ready. Be ready for change. Be ready to work hard. Be ready to see a different you. I want to give a big gratitude shout out to Heather Parody that believed in me years ago, 5 years ago. And she said, turn on the mic and start recording. And I turned on the mic. I honestly have a very hard time listening to my first episode because I just sound so different. But I love the fact that I evolved. I love the fact that I have another podcast. And I'm grateful for all the things that I learned along the way, especially about borderline. Shout out to my friend Alyssa, that really was my cheerleader from the beginning. I met her in one of the mastermind communities that I was a part of years ago, and she understands mental health like no one else. She teaches me so much about healing, and she was my cheerleader in starting this podcast, and she gave me so much insight when it comes to borderline and other healing and retreats and healing centers. She really taught me a lot. So I want to big shout out and gratitude to her and all of the listeners. I want you to know, if you have a dream, go for it. It's never going to end up being what you thought it's going to be, but the journey with a dream and creating your dream is unbelievable, unbelievable. The amount of people I got to meet, to talk to learn from, just by creating this podcast is mind boggling. I want to give a big shout out to my clients that trusted in me and worked one on one with me in order to gift themselves the gift of healing, wherever they're holding in their healing, to take another step towards a better tomorrow, hopefully. For all my gratitude people out there that inspire me with their work with gratitude, for all the listeners that implemented gratitude. I just got a beautiful, beautiful email from one of my clients that I've been working with. We got to a point that I said, I think you got this. You don't need me anymore. And she sent me a beautiful, beautiful email about how she has her ups and downs, but the gratitude that we implemented through our sessions and mindfulness and the forgiveness to herself took her such a long way. And she implemented it recently when she had a very hard time during an episode that she was having, and how she felt that she could do it. And this is what it is. This episode is sponsored by our incredible sponsor from the beginning, BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com, the leading online platform for therapy. Many people come to me for help, and one of my questions are, have you been to therapy? Are you willing to go to therapy? I am not a therapist. I don't claim to be a therapist, and I don't do the therapist work. And I think it's something that has to be done with a therapist, side by side. Some people have been to therapy for many years and then they come to me to do the work. I often say, if you haven't been to therapy and if you want to start working with me, you need to start working with a therapist as well. Very often, it is very expensive. BetterHelp is a leading online platform for therapy that is affordable. You don't have to leave your house. You can get it from the comfort of your sofa, your bed, your office. It's one click away. There are thousands of licensed clinicians on this platform. It's incredible. If you want to get 10% off your first month, use the link in the show notes, betterhelp.com/hope to recharge. Use the link below and start your therapy from the comfort of your home. Sometimes it's so overwhelming to go to therapy. Nowadays, most therapists are on Zoom. Most clinicians are on Zoom. Let's say you travel a lot. Let's say you just don't like getting out of your house, but you want a therapist. It's so affordable. It's worth taking a look. If you're thinking about therapy and you don't know where to start, go to betterhelp.com/hope to recharge. That's betterhelp.com/hope to recharge. Millions of people from all over the world are using them. Start your wellness now. It's finding the tools and tapping into them and learning how to implement them in hard times. Healing is not about not having hard times and not having any kind of episode or downtime, which means like a low in our day or in our month or in our year, like a patch of time that's difficult. It's about knowing how to get through it in the best way in order to know that it's not going to last forever. It's a time. It's just for now. Life is all about the ups and downs. It's cliche, but without the downs, the ups don't feel up. They just don't feel up. So how can we take the tools that we learn to implement in order for the downs to feel that we can get through them and to make them meaningful and to grow through them? Because otherwise it's just misery. Suffering without meaning is misery. I think Marsha Linehan says something like that. I wanted you to just know that the reason why we decided to do a 4-episode series on borderline is because over the years, a few episodes talking about borderline, and they are the most downloaded episodes on this podcast. Even episodes from 3 years ago still get hundreds of downloads every week just on the topic of borderline. What it's telling us is that the mental health community is craving knowing more about borderline. They want to understand it more. They want tools. They want to heal. They're afraid of the word, and we have to break this idea, this taboo about borderline. That people should not be afraid to share that they are diagnosed with borderline, that you shouldn't be afraid to share that they have maybe traits of borderline, that they shouldn't be afraid to heal from it because you can go into remission. And when you heal, they're one of the most incredible humans out there. Even before you heal, they're incredible humans because a lot of people that are diagnosed with borderline are very sensitive souls. And just for that, they're incredible. We're coming back. We're going to have episodes with an incredible therapist. They're all with the same therapist. And we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down for you. So take notes, share these episodes. We can together break the stigma against the horrible stigma that doctors, psychiatrists, therapists have with borderline, and we have to make a difference. So this is our mission, to help you, to guide you, to give you insight, and hopefully give you hope if it's you, your family member, and to create more compassion and more awareness with borderline. Thank you all for supporting me along this way of hope, of creating Hope to Recharge, for creating this community, for being here with me, for being such incredible supporters. Thank you for being patient with the fact that I didn't publish so much recently because of my other podcast, Listening to Understand. We're juggling a lot, and that's okay. And my MO is, I'm going to do the best I can, and that's okay. And I gift that to you. Show up the best you can, and then say, and that's okay, even if you wanted to do much more, and even if you feel like you should have done much more. I always say, in a year, will anybody remember that I did less? No. In a year, will I remember? No. In 5 days, will anybody remember? No. So you do the best you can, and you do for yourself, and you do for what means to you, where you are right now. Be where your feet are right now. Take care. And if there's anything you want to ask regarding borderline, you can send it to us in the next week or two. Go to our website, hopetorecharge.com. On the bottom, it says get in touch with us. Send us an email if there's any questions you want to ask a therapist regarding borderline. We are looking forward to getting them. Bye till next time. Thank you for listening till the end. We highly appreciate all of our listeners. In Mental Health Together is Better, you being here means a tremendous amount to us. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like some extra boost of information and inspiration that is not on the podcast, you can go to our website, hopetorecharge.com. There's some premium content that for the cost of a cup of coffee, you can download some amazing information that will help you, a tool that will guide you through life. So don't skip a beat. Don't hesitate. Go to hopetorecharge.com and see what other offerings we have there for your mental health well-being. Thank you for joining us. And remember, if you enjoyed this and you want to say thank you, the best way of gratitude will be by you leaving a review or a comment or sharing this with a loved one. There is no greater form of gratitude for us. Thank you. Bye till next time.
Looking to reduce your anxiety and stress, relax your muscles, or get a better night's sleep? Check out Maxifies.com, 100% legal hemp, where you can find doctor-formulated, lab-certified, high-quality CBD oils, tinctures, and other items, cultivated, grown, harvested, and packaged in the United States, and available in different sizes and strength formulas. Check out Maxifies.com, that's MAXIFYZ.com, and use coupon code HOPE to get 10% off your order plus free shipping. That's Maxifies.com.